All right, have and have not fans. Now, I didn't think I would ever make a video before the premiere episode next Tuesday on a topic that I never really thought of, and I'm actually happy to do a video on it. The reason I'm doing this video is because Chandler and I were doing a live stream a couple hours ago about Jim Cryer, and the subject came up about the possibility of Mama Rose and Katheryn Cryer encountering each other and those two having a possible connection. And this really sparked my interest. So if you go back and watch the Jim Cryer discussion video, I believe that was about 45 minutes long. I think around maybe the 20-30 minute mark is where we got on this subject, and we literally talked about it for quite some time. Now the theory is, Mama Rose and Katheryn might have more in common than you might expect. It isn't confirmed. This was literally just us thinking out loud, and it was a really good idea. What if those two actually meet in person, and then it turns out that the father of Katheryn and the father of Mama Rose actually knew each other, and from that, Katheryn and Mama Rose kind of hit it off. And I was going under the, just the synopsis of, hey, theoretically speaking, let's say Mama Rose has had it with Jim Cryer, is at the point where she's either going to kill him or teach him another lesson. And, Katheryn and Jim are both there. Or let's say Jim is meeting with Mama Rose. Just picture the setting in your head. And then out of nowhere, Katheryn says, oh, so you're Mama Rose, or oh, or Katheryn will do one of her monologues like, my name is Katheryn, and then she says her last name, and then Mama Rose be like, whoa, 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 your father was so-and-so? And it's like, wait a minute, yeah, and what about your father? And then those two hit it off. I feel like that would be hilarious, because I feel like Jim will be dumbfounded by that, and also just those two women can definitely talk about what a pain in the ass Jim Cryer is to them, and whatever trouble Jim might be in, Mama Rose just let it slide. But I feel like it is a possibility if Tyler Perry wrote this, because when you think about it, remember that Katheryn's father wasn't one to play with a straight deck. We know he was a raging alcoholic behind closed doors, supposedly gave scholarships to law school to women who did sexual favors for him, and the list goes on, but we don't know that much about his history. So it stands to reason that it is possible, like Jim Cryer has Mama Rose. Katheryn's father may have had connections with the underworld, being the Malone family. And remember that Mama Rose said her father didn't have any sons, so she was the only one left to inherit the Malone dynasty, if you will, which is similar to Katheryn in the fact that she's an heiress herself. So I feel like those two would definitely just make one heck of a connection. And what I like about it is you can go even further, where Jim Cryer is linked to both Katheryn by being her husband and Mama Rose by being, I guess you could say, they just have the connection of, Jim did some favors for Mama Rose, and now she's returning the favor. And when it comes down to Candace, you think of it this way: she's related to Benny, that's her brother, and then you have Warlock, who was kind of like a brother, so to speak, because Hannah really treated him like a son when they were young and growing up together. So I guess you could say it this way, Jim and Katheryn are related in terms of, family, well, more like marriage. Candace and Benny are connected being siblings. Then you have how Mama Rose is connected to Jim because she's almost like the hired muscle, just like Warlock was the hired muscle for Candace, and it turned out he potentially became her greatest enemy, just like Mama Rose teaching Jim a lesson can make her Jim's biggest enemy. So I think that will be an excellent way of fleshing out these characters and establishing more connections. Not to mention, if we have more intel on the Malone family and Katheryn and whatnot, it goes without saying that I would be 10 times more interested in that kind of storyline than anything that's focused solely on Candace and, I dare say, Veronica. So them being connected via their parents would definitely be a way of going. And as the episode said, haunted by a surname. And my mom, I called her about it. She's like, well, what if Mama Rose is Katheryn's sister? You never know, because they might have had the same father. Possibly. But at the same time, I don't know if that's the case, because I don't know if Katheryn had any brothers. I know she had like 3 other siblings, but we never know. Mama Rose could have been a sibling. Again, you just never know. Maybe Mama Rose's father and Katheryn's father were the same person but used different names. There's just no telling how deep the story goes, but I feel like this will be a great way for Tyler Perry to switch things up. So I'm really going to be watching Mitch and the Malones a lot more closely this upcoming season, just because you never know how things are going to turn out. So with that being said, do you think it's possible? That Katheryn and Mama Rose will meet up in the future, and when they do, they'll pretty much hit it off quickly? Are their fathers connected? Are those two sisters? I don't know. I feel like it'll definitely be something to look into. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And are there any other off-the-wall theories that I haven't discussed that you want me to do a video on?